Hello YouTube, thought I'd do a quick video here. If you've been following my YouTube channel here, I've been making a adjustable J-pole, meaning I can adjust it up and down to adjust the SWRs. As I mentioned in my other videos, I want to try this as a mobile antenna, okay? So I got me a cookie sheet here and a magnet, and I'm kind of seeing how the SWRs are acting, and so far it is working really well. Now obviously I know a car roof is going to be much bigger, but I can adjust it just fine. So the question you may be wondering is, how is this going to work? Well, the only thing that may be a problem is the pattern. When it transmits here, the pattern may be affected. I'm not sure. I have no way of testing that. And that's because this J-pole does not require any ground planes. So I don't know if the metal roof, well in this case cookie sheet, but it will be the metal car roof, how bad it's going to affect my pattern. So what I'm going to do is, how I'm going to do this is, I'm going to have two antennas in the car, and I'm going to switch them out when I do a distance test and see if we can hear a difference. My first antenna, which I've done many videos on, is my first DIY mobile antenna. So we will compare and see how better or worse this setup may be. Now remember, the gain of a J-pole is approximately 3 dB. So that should help a little bit. I have no idea what the gain is on my homemade antenna that I have on my vehicle, but nevertheless, it's going to be kind of a neat little experiment. So I will be running two antennas. So I'll just switch in between radios, and we're going to find out, very easily how this thing works. Now you're probably wondering, well, how much money do I have involved in this at the time of making this video? Now, if you watch my part 2, I believe it was, I told you the price I have in making the J-pole antenna, and that was approximately $15, I believe, 15 and some odd cents. But that did not include the PVC pipe, because I had that laying around. So today I had to go to the hardware store to buy some more hardware. Now the magnet I'm using here is actually a magnet off my MIG welder gun holder. For those of you who are welders, there is a metal bracket here that you can put your MIG welder gun on, and it's metal, so it sticks to your workbench, your welding table. So I just used that. I unbolted it, and then that's the magnet. That's the magnet I'm using. Now you can use any magnet, just make sure it's strong enough to really hold the antenna. The good news is this shouldn't have much wind resistance, this type of antenna. So that's the magnet I'm using, so I didn't have to pay for that. And the PVC pipe I'm using is a piece I had laying around. I just recut it and put another slot in there. So today's price in hardware does not include the magnet, the PVC pipe, or any coax. So today I bought, you can't see it, a 1/4-inch bolt that's underneath the magnet, a washer, another washer on top, a coupler, threaded rod, and 4 nuts so I can lock this down once I get the height figured out. Okay, so today it was about $9, and I don't remember what it was, 90 some cents. Say $10. So if I include the antenna, the threaded rod, and I'm going to need to buy coax, because I cannot use the coax on the other antenna, because that coax is mounted to the actual magnet itself. So I got to buy a piece of coax that's got a PL259 on each end. I can get a 15-foot piece of RG8X, I believe, for like $18. So including the coax, the price to make this setup would be about $44. That does not include the magnet or the PVC pipe. It does include the threaded rod, the nuts, the coupler, the hose clamp, the 1/8-inch steel rod, the shaft collars, there's 2 of them, the PL259 connector. You cannot see that. That's in here. So that's what that price includes, okay? Not the magnet or the PVC pipe. So $44. If this works out well for a, I'm going to go with a 3 dB antenna, $44 approximately. It might be a little more if you got to buy a magnet and if you got to get a piece of PVC pipe. Now, I don't know what a decent mobile magnet mount mobile antenna costs, to be honest with you. I would have to look. So just keep that in mind. If the price ain't much more, sometimes it's just better off just to buy it. I did a video about that a while back ago about building a directional beam antenna. By the time I add up all the parts, it was cheaper to buy one on Amazon than to build one. But nevertheless, it's still kind of good to know, will a J-pole antenna work decently for a mobile antenna? So that's kind of the purpose of me doing this. And this way you guys know, and you know not to waste your time. If it don't work, you know, whatever. If it doesn't work out, I can reuse some of these parts for other projects. Not a big deal. Now, you're probably wondering, well, how tall is this? Now, that's going to change because right now I have a space from here to here. I'm going to try to lower this. I want to try to keep this low profile. But if I include the space here that I have to the top of the J-pole antenna, it is approximately, I believe, 25 inches. And I just had, you know, it's funny how tools like walk away. Oh, here we go. Right before you start to do something. So let's double. I believe it was 25 inches. Oh, I lied. 20. Oh, okay. Well, let's, if you want to be technical, 22 and a half. But that could change if I change the distance from here to here, which I may do. I want to kind of keep this low profile. I'll cut the threaded rod once I'm done. So until I, you know, make sure my SWRs are going to be good, I get this low as I can, then I'll hack it off quick. So that's what we got going on. Now, I'm going to show you the SWRs on this thing, and it's been really good. I'm really, really surprised on how well this thing is working. Now, let's go ahead and go to the computer here. Now, just to let you know, I did recalibrate my analyzer before I did this video because I just want to make sure that everything is on the up and up. And matter of fact, what I'm going to do also, when I put this on the car and I use the analyzer to adjust the SWRs, I'm going to recheck it with an analog SWR meter, okay, just to make sure that I did everything correctly. And what I mean by analog is I will be using this to recheck the SWRs. Just to let you know, I will be triple or double checking things just to make sure. So now, if I look at this, and I got this analyzer set to scan 460 megahertz up to 470, obviously way lower and way higher than the frequencies we're allowed to use. But if I drag this, if you look at the top right-hand corner, it's in red, and you can see the frequencies change and what the SWRs are. So if I drag this to 469.925, I get 1.2. If I drag this all the way on the low end, I get, whoop, you're creeping up. At 460 megahertz, I get 1.4. Remember, in my opinion, anything below 1.5 is good enough. So even that is acceptable, in my opinion. So I am really good. So if I go to let's pick a frequency here, 462. If I can't, well, let's just do it this way. Let's just add another. We're going to add another marker here, 462.625. So you're going to see marker 2 come on screen here. So, let's try that again. Oh, I did. Okay. Marker 1 was already set to. Oh, it's been one of those days. Okay. 462.625 was already set for marker 1. Let's go ahead and add another marker here. Actually, what we're going to do, let's add 462. 462.725. We're going to add that marker. Okay. Now we're going to go to 462.550. Let's change marker 1 to 550. If I remember right, that's going to be the frequency for the repeaters is what I'm doing here. If I remember correctly, that should be the output frequency or the transmit frequency, if I remember correctly. 55 dot. What are we doing here? Okay, there. Let's hit OK. Okay, there. So now you can see where my markers are here. I got marker 1 is 462.550, and the other one is 462.725. I mean, look at that. I mean, that is really good. So I am not. You can see it here on the graph here where I'm at, and then just to show you that I'm going to. If I touch the antenna, SWRs go up. So to show you that my analyzer is working the way it should be. So there you have it. So far, so good. This is going to be my mobile J-pole video part 1. So any questions or comments, please post them down below. Please subscribe. Thank you and have a good day.